Hi, and welcome to Pizza Box Projects. I'm Chris Torrance. Today I'm going to show you how to turn an ordinary pizza box into a traffic signal. So let's get started. Here's the traffic signal that we're going to build. While one direction is red through the intersection, the other direction is green, and then it switches from green to yellow and then to red, while the other direction then switches from red to green. Let's open up our Pizza Box Invention Kit and see what we need. We'll need the traffic signal overlay sheet. We won't need any of these other parts, so I'm going to set these aside. What we will need is the maker bit, the micro bit itself, a glue stick, the bag of LEDs, the USB cable for the maker bit, the blue hole making tool, and finally the rainbow cable with the black plug on the end of it. The first thing we want to do is glue down our maker bit traffic signal model on top of the pizza box. When you're gluing down your paper, make sure to do it so that the top is at the top of the box, so when you open it, it stands up like this. Now let's go ahead and we'll punch the holes for traffic signals 1 and 2. Now that we've punched our holes, let's go ahead and label them so we don't get confused. So this is going to be LED 5. In a normal traffic signal, it's red at the top, yellow in the middle, green at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and attach our LEDs to the cable. Looking at your cable, locate the red wire, and this is LED 5 on the maker bit. We want to start out with this being red, and if you look at your LED, it has two legs, one of which is a little bit shorter. The shorter leg is the ground, whereas the longer one is the positive. And we want to put the ground into the black plug, and the longer one into the white plug, just like that. And then now we'll do the next one, which is yellow. To make sure all the LEDs are working properly, we can go ahead and plug the maker bit board in. Do this without the micro bit inserted so that all the LEDs light up. Take the black plug and plug it into the first slot here on the board, which is labeled P5 through P10. And then plug the other end of the USB cable into a USB power source or into a computer. Alright, so you can see that all of my LEDs are now lit up. The red was LED 5, so we're going to go ahead and push that one down through here. And when you're putting it in, make sure to not shove it all the way through. Just push it up until the lip touches the edge of the cardboard. And now, just to make sure they don't pop out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bend the legs over, and then I'm going to tape them down. Alright, so there's our traffic signals all wired up with lights. Now we want to see how to actually make it behave like a real traffic signal. Let's go ahead and start programming our traffic signal. To do that, we're going to go to makecode.microbit.org. First thing to do is click on the new project, and we'll give it a name. Let's say traffic signal. And once we've created it, the first thing we want to do is add the maker bit blocks to the editor. So in the middle here, you can see here are all the available blocks. If you click on Advanced and then click on Extensions, you can then search for maker bit. And once you've found it, you want to click on the main maker bit blocks here. We'll click on that, and then it'll install them into the editor. So you can see we have a new folder here called MakerBit, and if we open that up, we can see all of the blocks that go along with that. The ones we're going to be interested in are all under the pins category here, and this will allow us to turn the traffic signal lights on and off. Let's go ahead and we'll use the LED block to show that we're running the correct code, and I'll just put a T in here for traffic signal. And then what we want to do is we actually want to turn off the LED matrix so that it doesn't interfere with the maker bit. So we'll just put in an LED enable false, and then we also want to turn off all of our own LEDs just to make sure none of them are still left on. So we'll put that in. And then now we'll go ahead and we'll start creating variables. So we could just use the pin numbers 5, 6, 7, etc. for the red, yellow, green for the lights, but that's a little confusing to just have all those numbers. So instead we're going to make a bunch of variables. And we'll call the first one red 1. And we'll set that equal to 5, which is our pin number on the maker bit. And then we'll continue with all the other variables. For the next stage, we want to make use of all of these pins to turn the traffic lights on and off. And what I'm going to do is create several functions that will let us easily do this. So let me show you an example. I'll make a function and I'll call it red1. And what this function will do is turn on the red light in the one direction. So to do that, we want to turn on the red 1. So let's go under the pins and say set digital pin. Instead of 5 here, we actually want to make use of our variables. So if we click on variables, we want to set red 1 to high. And if the red is on in that direction, then we want to make sure that the yellow is off. So that's yellow 1. And then same thing, we also want to make sure that the green is off. So we'll set yellow to low and green to low. And then similarly, we're going to create functions yellow 1 and green 1, which will turn on the yellow light and the green light in that first direction. And then we're also going to create red 2, yellow 2, and green 2 for the other direction. So let's go ahead and do that now. So here you can see we've created 6 functions, red, yellow, green for the first direction, and red, yellow, green for the second direction. And in each case, it turns on the appropriate light and turns off the other 2 lights for that direction. Now we want to go ahead and make use of these functions. And to do that, we actually want to call our functions. So we click on the functions button here, and we're going to call green 1 first. And we know if the signal is green in one direction, then we need it to be red in the other direction. So let's go ahead and we'll call red 2 at the same time. So when one is green, the other one is red. And then we want the light to be green for, let's say, 4 seconds. So let's just do a pause here, and we'll put in 4,000 milliseconds. And then we'll change green 1 to yellow. So let's call yellow 1. And we want it to be yellow for, let's say, a second. So I'll duplicate that block and make that be 1 second. And then finally, that signal will turn red. So we'll call red 1. And at the same time that that one becomes red, then the other direction will become green. So we'll call green 2. And then the process will repeat. We'll have another delay for 4 seconds while the other direction is green. And then we'll change that light to yellow. And we'll have it be yellow for 1 second, just like the other one. And that should do it. Let's go ahead and plug our maker bit into the computer and then pair it with MakeCode. To do the pairing, click on the 3 dots and click Pair Device. And once you've done that, choose the BBC microbit and click Connect. Click the download button and it should automatically download to the microbit, and you should see it blinking there. And there's our program just started up. What are some additional challenges that you can think of for your traffic signal? One thing is adding more lights. So we saw how to do the lights in the 2 different directions, but you could also add lights on the other sides of the intersection. How would you wire those up? Another thing is to look at the way real traffic signals work, where they have a slight delay between one light turning red and the other one turning green. How would you change your MakeCode program to simulate that? If you end up making your own traffic signal, we'd love to see your project. Be sure to tweet out a picture or video of it to the Twitter handle below. I hope you enjoyed the traffic signal project. We'll have more Pizza Box projects coming soon. Thanks for watching.